Hello there everybody, how is it going? Thanks ever so much for tuning in and welcome back to some more SimCity 4. This is the region that is in fact one big city, and things are going very well so far. We are developing the southwest of the map mostly at this particular point in time. We completed Millard Fields last time, and we were possibly looking at this tile over here to perhaps complete this little river and maybe expand on this front. But I'm going to go ahead and mention, I'm going to go ahead and do what we mentioned at the end of the last session, where we talked about merging these rivers together and then creating the start of a medium density sort of zone out this way. We've also got lots of low density residential over in the Worthington interchange, but yes. So yeah, so we've got the River Worthington. We didn't actually name this river, did we? I don't know, yeah, no, we didn't name that river at all. But anyway, let's go ahead and start a new city. So yeah, we want to start diving into the medium density. We want to get some taller buildings, which is obviously going to be a little bit more difficult to manage in terms of power and water and whatnot. But we want to start getting, you know, towards not quite city centre-ish, but you know, we wanna head towards that way. So yeah, we got plenty of connections coming in here. So mostly just regular little roads. But what we were planning was a bit of an industry zone over this side, whereby we were going to, you know, create a small industry park, and then the river's going to disappear off this way, and we're going to have some medium density residential and stuff like that. So I think the best thing to do here is going to be something a little bit like this. So we'll bring this in like that. Okay, and then it sort of pushes this way, and we can really make this quite wide as well from here, because we've got two rivers merging together, so naturally when that happens there's a lot of water coming in here. So yeah, that's going to sort of head off that way like that. So the first things first is obviously we need to check that these line up as per the borders. Actually looks pretty good from the get-go here. A little bit too much. Actually, this side is actually perfect. Tiny bit too much over here. Ever so slightly. Not much, though. It's pretty good otherwise. Yeah, you can see actually where it's... yeah, like that. And then we need to plop in the coastal erosion here as well. So, obviously, that needs to be eroded away. There we go, a little bit like that. Okay, that looks pretty good and dandy to me. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, a little bit too straight, I think, but yeah. What can you do? It's a bit too much of a bend that between those two there. But yeah, so we've got farmland and bits and bobs along there. And obviously we are going to, yeah, so that's going to be there, and then there's going to be... It's actually not going to be that much in the way of large roads here, but this will obviously be the corner of a medium density zone. That's also going to be light residential over there. So actually there's going to be a fair bit of residential in this particular bit here, because we can make this into light density, low density residential over here to continue the theme of that sort of suburb that was at the top there. And then we're going to have a few industries over this way, and then this is going to be our medium density over this way. And then we can obviously we can connect these up with various things. We may even start some sort of elevated rail or something. We could do some, I don't know, some sort of connection. Not really decided what yet though. And this is a requested city. Thanks to everybody who has been requesting cities. If I haven't done your city yet, then I apologise, but we will definitely get around to it at some point. This, however, is going to be Contradusk Point, and I've named it, obviously, it's going to be Contradusk. There we go. So Contradusk is a solo / you know, collaboration music artist who makes his own music. So I'm going to put some links in the description below to his channel where he makes his own music. It's all his own work. So please do check it out. He's done some really good stuff actually. So yeah, highly recommended if you're into lots, in particular instrumental things and stuff like that, for playing around with various instruments. And yeah, he's really talented. So definitely go check it out. Be in the description below. So yeah, Contradusk Point, and this is going to be Contradusk Point here. Unfortunately, the bit where the point is obviously going to be is obviously where the industries are going to go. It's going to be really polluting and quite horrible. Okay, so obviously we've got the rivers merging in here, so this is going to be an excellent candidate to do some ferries. So in particular, we can do a ferry across here. That would be pretty good to go from this residential to that residential, and then maybe even a ferry over to the industries. I would, however, like to do a couple of bridges as well, but I might limit the number of bridges. So we'll have one going from here to here, and that's about it, I think. I don't think we need even more bridges. We can use the ferries to get over to different zones. So, ooh, I've just had a text through. Oh, that's okay, yeah. No problem. Right, so let's get beginning then. So, as I said, we're going to limit the number of bridges. I'm just going to basically get this road to join up here. And then I'm going to go with just a couple of, feeders that go off of here, probably like that, and then we can build the industry just off of those main roads, basically, is what we're going to do. And then I'm going to drop this one down here, and I'm going to build a bridge over there. And I almost always pick this one because it is just simple. You've got the rays and everything on the other side, so it's automatically okay for ferries. So for standard roads like this, I almost always pick this one. But if we decided to, we could easily elevate it to be okay. But then, as you can see, it becomes a little bit finicky. That's still too low, you see, and the gap is just a bit of a pain in the ass. So this is just a simple and easy bridge to use, and it's also relatively cheap. So I almost always use that one. Okay, and then so from here, then actually, what we could do from here, is I was thinking actually what we could do is cheat our way into a roundabout. So I was going to do this. So marginally cheaty roundabout, it's basically just with one ways, and then avenue off of there and off of here. So it's a bit big actually. It is probably too big in many respects. But this is obviously all going to be medium density stuff. So we are yeah, that's going to head towards the city. So yeah, if we do sort of a roundabouty structure over there, I should probably do more things like that if anything. But yeah, for now we'll just go with that. I'm tempted to run an avenue at the top here, but I don't think that's what I'm going to do. I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of intricate internal design here. So we got, so let's say we got a road that joins in. Okay. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're going to do this like this. Same over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to go from there. So it's going to be 3 on one side and 3 on the other. So we're going 3 by 3 buildings, basically, is what I'm trying to do here. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, and I'm just going to run a series of roads in and around like this. I guess I could do that. It's a bit close though, but yeah, we'll try. Roll 5, 6. Yep. I'm just going to design it. It's pretty blocky, but it's going to allow for some decent construction, for sure. Okay, so if we go to there, there, and I might do one more. Like that. And then this one is going to be an avenue. So let's delete that. Like that. Connect that up to there. So we can have several, we can have some avenues of some sort running across here. and then that can just join up there. And we can just have a series of connections, say every few over here. And in this gap here at the top, so this one here, we can put our commercial. So I was going to do commercial all along the waterfront, and then residential all in the back here, basically. So we can build a nice system like that, that will obviously, yeah, that's going to work quite well actually. We can build, we build 2x2 buildings along here. That'll be fine. So yeah, we can build some of that, and then up here we can maybe change it up a little bit. Not sure though. Actually, no, we won't change it up. We'll just carry on. So yeah, keep going, but then we'll move over as we go. That was actually pretty good. So yeah, we'll just move over, basically, because we've got the waterfront here, and we'll just keep on going over like that. So it's basically 80 is what I'm after. So I want 80 and across. So that's going to save a bit of time because it means I don't have to count. Okay. Yeah, it is. Okay. So the downside is obviously we're not going to be building the big 4x4 buildings, which you can get if you build roads across like that, but in this instance, not actually looking to go for those buildings. I'm going to try and attempt the 4x4 buildings when we go sort of towards, you know, dense residential, that sort of thing. And actually, let's just run an avenue northbound there that joins in there. Basically, is what we'll do. So that's quite intricate, but we'll run a couple of one-ways. Actually, no, let's just take a couple of internal roads, north-south, you know, just to split up the traffic a little bit. Maybe another one there as well, because that's quite close as well. So that'll just facilitate the movement of traffic a little bit more. Okay, fantastic. So that's our setup, basically. And then we've got industries over there, and we'll build some light residential stuff over here. There shouldn't be that much over here, but I might just sort of leave a bit of a waterfront. So, something like that. I'm going to leave that all free, basically. Okay, fab. Let's get going with some construction then. So because we're going to be going with medium buildings and whatnot, I've got no hesitation in going with oil as our power. So let's plop an oil power plant down there. And we don't actually need that much industry, so I might just start with that then. There's a small amount of industry. And then I'm going to start with the low-density residential stuff over here. So I'm not going to build the medium stuff just yet. Mostly because we want to develop up a little bit more of this first. So there doesn't need to be anything special about this particular area here. If anything, I'm not really going to do much in the way of special here. So yeah, just probably shouldn't zone like this manicky. If anything, this is far too much. But there we go, something like that. And get the streets connected. There's no harm in joining a couple of these up, I suppose. But yeah, doesn't need to be that crazy. Okay, it's actually got whales under here. That's kind of interesting in the river. Right, so let's drag a massive power line to there, and we'll also drag a power line, I suppose, to there initially, but we might decide to delete that. We'll be okay. Right, I suppose we haven't done any commercial over here, have we? So we get a small amount of commercial on some of the sides, I suppose, like that. Maybe one or two little parks. So medium flower garden. Tennis courts. Tennis court there, and maybe a plaza of some sort. I don't know. Just a couple of little things. Excellent. Okay, so let's get that developed, so we at least get people moving in. Right, Sims invite Mayor to pull up a chair. We're actually going to go over here in the slightly denser area, actually. So what I was actually thinking was a cheeky one. Have our own personal road coming off of here. And put that down there. Personal road for the mayor's house. Absolute abuse of government funds, but hey ho. Right, and we have a fire. Oh goodness me. Okay, that was pretty quick. Again, because I didn't do the smoke detectors, I suppose. We can, however, reduce the funding on that one a little bit, because it doesn't need to cover the whole area, it just needs to cover that. So, actually, it does need a bit more. There we go, just cover that top corner there. Excellent. Okay, right. So that's just about okay. We could probably give it its own water supply just to help out with some of the development of the houses. So, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, let's just ram it in over here. Just so that the houses can develop into actual proper houses. But apart from that, we're not going to do all that much else with this area. If anything, it's probably going to be more beneficial for me to do this. I was thinking about just lining it up with pipes through the middle, but much better. There we go. Okay. And the final thing we need to do is, I'll probably do it over here. I'll just bring it down this way. Is build a transportation for cars and passengers. Really? I really wanted it to be here as well. Ah, here we go. It needs to be a little bit further. There we go. Right. So, drop that in there like that, basically. And hopefully, people will actually go over there and use that maybe to connect to some of the other cities. More importantly, hopefully they'll use it to connect between the two here. So, we've got a bridge over here, but I think I will also build a car and passenger terminal on this side as well. There was a spot there. There we go. Let's build one over here as well, so we can actually use intercity traffic. Really? Alright, yeah, okay. There we go. So, well, not intercity, but yeah, we got intercity traffic, but also people can go from here to there, and then probably eventually across to here as well. So people can get their cars and go over on in other ways. Hopefully we'll see some boats as well. That would be nice. Okay, so we've established a standard sort of build over this way. As I said, we're starting to see some proper houses over there, but that's about as good as it's going to get over there, basically. Oh, Wellington Interchange is willing to take some garbage. Excellent. Let's get rid of that crap. That's going to save a hell of a lot. That will eventually be powered by means, obviously, you know, where we're going to build. We're going to be building industries over there, but for now I guess I'll just run a power line. Okay, so with that sort of foundation in place then, let's start going with some medium density. So we're going to go commercial in there. We could do some residential along here. That wouldn't hurt, I suppose. But actually, I might leave it all commercial. I think we'll start with this for now. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Okay. So we can build a bit of a block. I suppose we could do that to start with. Yeah, okay, so just fill that gap in there. Okay, right. And that's going to be commercial. So let's start with just this for now. There is what we're going to start with. Yeah, we could perhaps run an elevated rail around here. It would make sense. It would also probably make sense to connect there as well. Just like here, because it is going to be medium dense, it's going to be towards the city, so it would actually make sense to do that. We'll probably end up on the other city having an avenue that runs north-south, because otherwise that little road there is going to be a pretty skimpy one to Yeah, it might not be great. Okay, so fair enough. Right. So the first thing I actually do want to do here is, surprisingly, I want to supply this place with water. So, there is going to be fine. So let's begin by running a pipe that far, and then that far, yeah, because that's going to be enough. A bit further along there. Lovely. Seems to be 160 seems to be the magic number here for water. So yeah, excellent. Right. So hopefully these places will develop. There we go. We're starting to see some slightly better. It's still low wealth, but obviously we can fix that with some parks and plazas and stuff like that. So, I might actually go ahead and put in a couple of those straight away there, because that might just increase the land value a little bit. There we go. Starting to see some better places, yeah, already. Even though they're low density, sorry, low wealth. But we can change that very, very quickly through the addition of services and whatnot. So, I'm going to develop it up a little bit more slowly than I would the low density, because there's, yeah, so definitely got some water. Okay, high capacity school. We're probably going to use that, actually, the high capacity school. But yeah, let's just start with. Yeah, let's start with that and that, I suppose. I will get a medium plaza in there. This is on the roundabout, bearing in mind, so it's not the best place to be putting this sort of thing. But technically, that looks like one big plaza, so that's going to be fine. Also, the plazas will actually help to develop up some of the buildings here. So, ooh, interesting. What have we got here? Medium wealth. Excellent. That's what I was after. Good. Right. So the tax is looking okay here. Let's go with the where is it? Smoke detectors. Paper waste reduction is quite a heavy one. Tire recycling. Pro reading could be quite a good early one. Yeah, let's get that in. Let's go with those. Also, initially that's not going to have that much of an effect, but eventually it will. Okay, so industry needs room to expand. Let's build a little bit more industry there. I want to save room for another power plant, because eventually I think we are going to need one. And then let's build that there and that there. Okay, so a bit more industry over there. That's going to be fine. So it's still some places for people to work. Still haven't seen any boats yet. Probably because it's not in that close proximity to anything. So we'll see. What are the what's the best use of that? Okay, yeah, fair enough. Doesn't really specify the best use, but yeah, we'll work it out. I'm sure as we get more and more people in over here, then we definitely will be able to. Right, let's keep going with this. There we go. Right. So again, properties sort of changing and things like that. Yeah, very low density thus far. Sorry, low wealth. Keep getting those two mixed up for some reason. So we've got the smoke detector program. I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to go with the big ass school here. It has almost no radius, so because it is just that effective. So, pop it in down there to start with. Eventually, we might end up building another one though. So. 750, that's probably going to be just about okay. Yeah, let's build some stuff here. Actually, there's a bigger building just spotted up there as well. And I've left a gap because I'm going to go ahead and build a large park green at the back over there, just to further increase some land value. Yeah, bigger plot just zoned itself there. Local road reaches chaos. Yeah, I can imagine it probably does. So okay, so one thing I think we will do is we'll go down to 7 here and 6 here. 7, 6. So we'll try and instigate some favourable taxes here. 7, 6. Okay, so we'll change up the tax system, which means we are losing a little bit of money, but eventually that might mean that, yeah, we got some slightly bigger plots and stuff like that, so that might mean some changes with regards to wealth, because higher wealth people are going to move in. Yeah, there we go. We're starting to see some changes already. There's a big building going up here. Still rising as well. Let's get the church in here. That's actually rather nice. Okay, high wealth residential. Fantastic. Okay. I'm going to make that one historical actually for now. Because you never know, unless anything bigger around it starts to develop. But it won't develop that high because it is only medium density. We're not going with skyscrapers currently, although that is pretty tall, to say the very least. But yeah, that's pretty good. So we'll make that historical. The commute is long. Yeah, I can understand that, yeah. So, just trying to think, do we want a subway system in here? Should have left a gap for an elevated rail. Oh, I definitely should have done that. But we could still put in an elevated rail, so... We don't really have the money though, but I'd like to leave a gap for an elevated rail. Oh, grave needed. Haven't really left a lot of room for one of these. I guess maybe that corner over there is probably going to be fine, actually. Fills in a bit of a gap. Yeah, I've not left that much room for elevated rail, so maybe we won't go with elevated rail here then. Maybe we'll go with subway instead. But even then, I've frustrated myself with that. Bollocks. Right, okay. So new house and new devout. Let's go ahead and put that one over there. Yeah, I didn't leave any gaps for it. It's very frustrating. But I could run it along here. Run it through there. And then through the middle over there. The elevated rail stations need got super high elevated rail, but the elevated rail stations need to be connected to a road, which is a little bit irritating, but I can maybe work around that. So this. So if we put a station in there, a station in there, and then curve it around. It's a bit far away. Yeah, so that can service all of that. A station in there. And then have it go around the back of the grave. And then put a station in there. That's what we're going to do. Right, so elevated rail station there. 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 And there. And I think that's all we're going to need for now. Unless I run a track along here and up to this way as well. Which might not be the worst idea in the world. So we can connect those up. Right, I will fill those in shortly. First things first though, we're going to zone in some commercial along there. And that's going to be annoying because then I have to bend that around that way. So let's make some smaller commercial there. And I was just going to ram in a large plaza on the corner here to improve some of the land value. But yeah, we're starting to get some nice properties there. We're getting some nice properties down here as well, which is rather good. So let's continue with the medium density residential. It's actually getting some good properties there as well now. Yeah, nice. Okay, so it's still mostly low wealth and whatnot, but we haven't provided all the city services yet. So we're already at 750 here. That's pretty quick. Gee whiz. So let's connect up this elevated rail then. So we go here, right. So that needs to run off into the next section. Needs to go there. Right, so we come into here. There. Like that. Right, can I connect that over there? Ah, you're kidding me. I have to bend it beforehand, do I? Which is really annoying. I don't want to have to do that, but obviously I do. There we go. Right. Bring this out here. No. So yeah, it's a bit of an ugly one for the grave right there, having the elevated rail running right past. Okay. There. And there. Do I want it to... Do I want that to go north? I suppose so, maybe. Yeah, let's run that north. Because it might be one big loop of elevated rail that goes around. Okay, let's see how we manage that then. There's obviously connections to other parts of the region as well. So yeah, 6 users. It's not going to be that many users at the moment. But as more and more of these areas up here get built up, then this will fill in, and I think we'll get a lot of users of the elevated rail. Okay, but let's end the episode right here. So that's for now. Cheers for watching, guys. This has been myself, Matty Tomato. Be sure to subscribe to follow the series and join me next time for more SimCity 4 and our playthrough here, where the region is one big city. See you later, guys.